The more you consume, the less you produce. The more you consume, the less you produce. Nowadays, it has become a norm to sit at home to watch YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or Reddit or whatever. All we are doing all day is sitting in our homes, getting our dopamine from useless stimulation. We, as humankind, well, I'm not gonna say we, I'm trying to produce more than I consume. Well, obviously, I'm part of this society of the consumerism, let's call it that. We, as consumers, we produce less. People sit at home most of their day. They shop from their phone, they gain knowledge from their phone, they play video games, they have fun at home, they feel like they're accomplishing something, sense of accomplishment. Those people take no part in the society. While this is quite theoretical, the vast majority of people make no influence on the world. They are definitely not making it better. Again, this is quite theoretical. Well, they could have sex and bring a child, which would change the world for the better and make up a new thing which will revolutionize the world. I mean, we are making some kind of progress, right? People who do make a difference, people who do take part in the society, who have influence on the society, are people who take part in their lives and their bodily experiences. You've probably heard about the government saying we take drugs to escape reality or have sex to escape reality, but let me tell you something. That is actually more real. I think it is because we were conditioned to be in front of our screens. And about escaping reality, well, be sure we are escaping reality. Have you seen what reality has become? It is fascinating to me to see that people scroll on their TikTok on their phone and they are not completely embarrassed of what they're doing. Like, I am so embarrassed of just sitting like this and like hearing dumbass songs and dumbass videos, listening to dumbass people who make no difference, who literally sit in front of their screen. They don't know. Well, of course, you can get a lot of knowledge from TikTok, but let's be honest, guys. People are literally sitting on the train, on the bus, in school, in their jobs, just doing this and hearing dumbass, trendy songs of TikTok. It is completely fascinating. Well, of course I am trying to escape this reality. Drugs and sex have become a lot more closer to body experiences than sitting on our screens at home. Nowadays, I think actually drugs and sex serve a great motive in life. Before I took drugs, I sat at home and played video games 12 hours a day, which is completely crazy if you ask me. Well, you might be doing it yourself and you might consider 4 hours of video games a day is normal, but let me tell you something, your dopamine receptors are f***ed up. You don't want to do anything else than sit on your computer. It is because it is because the game has become the biggest accomplishment that you get in life. Therefore, the biggest serves of dopamine you get. You have this sense of achievement. When people like your Instagram post or when people DM you or when people phone you, you get this sense of accomplishment. It is because you're creating a relationship with a person. Well, let me tell you something, these relationships are not real. Yes, the phones have helped us communicate the best way we ever experienced. We couldn't have communicated this way in the past. We had to travel miles on miles to see our parents or to see our loved ones. And today we can just video call them. And this is a very addictive thing. Let's not forget that smartphones and computers have only became a thing a few years ago basically. not a long time ago. By the way, if you want to quit video games, I have made a complete video guide about it, and I will leave the link in the description. First thing in the description, I invite you to check it out. So, what I was saying basically is that drugs got me outside of my home. They got me to experience real life. So, for some people, this might be actually useful. I don't suggest you take any drugs. And no, I don't condone the fact that people have sex all day or addicted to drugs. I am definitely not, but let's look at the bigger problem. We are not looking at the people who take drugs. We are not looking at the people who have sex. We are looking at the people who stare in front of their screen every single day, all day. Again, they take no part in the society. They are AIs, artificial intelligence. Let me tell you why they are artificial intelligence. If all you consume is social media, the social media is programming you. It is filling your subconscious mind, which is definitely underrated and underestimated in our time of society. Your subconscious mind means a great deal of what you will become, of what you will achieve in success in real life. And when all you consume is what other people want you to consume, or rather want you to see, it all affects your subconscious mind in such a bigger way than you could have ever imagined. The more you consume, the less you produce. You can also consume your own thoughts, and you can overconsume your own thoughts. Therefore, live less, produce less. People don't realize that the past and the future are just non existing concepts that humans have theoretically made because they don't want to be forgotten. You realize how crazy that is. Or, of course, well, we have this sense of organization and sense of time management because we are wanting to achieve something, because we need to keep track of our days, because we can literally die tomorrow or die in a few years. But let me tell you something. All there is and all there ever will be is this moment right now. The past and the future are non existing. Some call it now, some call it the present, some call it the point outside of time, and some call it this moment, this exact moment. Without this exact moment, nothing would have been able to happen. Nothing would have happened. We wouldn't be sitting here, you watching my video, and I wouldn't have been greeting you to subscribe to my channel without this exact moment. And this is actually funny because we could never speak too much about this moment, because literally everything that has happened in the past. I could say right now or the point outside of time, but this is something internal. Only a person can feel the felt moment of immediate experience. Only the person can feel the presence of his own. I want you to stop consuming what doesn't exist. What you see in social media, it doesn't even exist. It's all in the past. Why is the humankind so driven by the past? Why does the humankind rely so much on the past for dopamine? I really don't get it. Why do we consume the parts that do not exist in our lives? Let me tell you this. You can pause the video to think about it. The more you consume, the less you produce. It makes sense, doesn't it? We either consume or we produce. If I were to watch endless hours of TikTok and scroll on Instagram all day, I wouldn't even produce anything. I would have maybe produced CO2 to the air. I want you to be grateful for what you have. I want you to be grateful for your time. I want you to go out there and make a difference. I want you to produce. I want you to not be forgotten. People will forget you ever existed. I mean, that thought always crossed my mind, and it's kind of scary. I mean, of course, I don't know what's gonna happen after death, but for now, all I know that people who produce more are more remembered. I am not that smart yet. Maybe I will realize what can happen after death in this lifetime, but right now, all I know is that people who are remembered are the people who produce, are the people who write books, are the people who make music and be out there. Their soul is eternal. I can literally feel the vibration that they give with just a music video or a game they created or this YouTube video. People who are producers and people who are less of the consumer type and the more producing type, They are the one who are remembered. You don't see and you don't remember the person who consumes all day and doesn't produce anything. Isn't it kind of disturbing that you're literally gonna be forgotten? 100 years after you die, nobody is going to remember you. I want to leave a good footprint on this earth. I want to leave such a good footprint on planet Earth that my soul will be eternal. We all know who drew the Mona Lisa. It is because this person has produced and produced and produced, and the more he produced, the less he consumed, and now his soul is eternal. His vibration is eternal. Everybody's brain is receiving the reflection of light given away from that picture of the Mona Lisa, and everybody knows who to think of. Everybody remembers his name. I think that's respected. Not everybody wants to be remembered. A lot of people want to live their life and be forgotten in the universe. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, but some people are like that. Most people wouldn't want to be famous, or for say that's the lies they're feeding themselves. People think that there are too much people. There are too much music producers, too much video game developers, too much book writers that they don't even try. Those people actually take zero part in this society. The more you consume, the less you produce.